Shafi, welcome to the e-commerce talks podcast. It's getting later in the day. All the people are like focusing on dinner at restaurants, and you're selling equipment for restaurants on your marketplace, ekuep.com. Please tell me more about it and more about you.
Sure. Thanks for having me here, Alex. It's a pleasure. First, to introduce myself, my name is Shafi Baig. I am the VP e-commerce at ekuep.com and kawashop.com. I can introduce both of these e-commerce places to you. Ekuep is a B2B e-commerce in F&B equipment, and we are a marketplace. So people or business owners who are looking to set up their cafes and restaurants and their kitchen equipment within, we are the place that they generally tend to incline to. We started about 8 years ago. We started as a retail business where we would buy and sell equipment. And eventually we found that the needs of the business owners is quite a lot more vast than what we were offering. So what we had to do was pivot to a marketplace model, get more marketplace vendors onboarded, and actually move to a marketplace business. That has helped us become the pioneers of the phenomenal growth in restaurants and cafes that you've seen in Saudi in the past few years. We were right at the forefront of it, supporting our clients actually build those places and specifically their kitchens in these cafes and restaurants.
And how can you tell us some numbers in terms of like how many products, revenue, employees are working on ekuep.com?
So in terms of products, I think we have more than 10,000 SKUs on Ekuep. This includes some marketplace products as well. In terms of employees, we have a total team of about 100 to 130 people working with us, excluding the technology team that we have that is based out of Pakistan.
And this is another like 20, 30 people or?
Yes.
Okay. And
it's more like 40 people, I believe.
We're getting more into detail like with this business in a minute, but I understand you still have a part of it in a retailing mode. So you buy products on your own risk. It's your inventory and you sell it with a markup, right? That's still part of the business. It's not 100% marketplace. It's like, I don't know.
Yes, it's a hybrid, I would say.
Okay.
It's a hybrid. That's mainly because we have some strong relationship with manufacturers. We have exclusivity deals with them, and we represent those brands in the region.
Okay.
And we are their success partners here. So for those ones, we are retail. And and then there's marketplace for everything to expand into the other categories that we generally don't have, to expand into the price points that we generally don't carry. So that's where marketplace comes in.
Yeah. And then my briefing said the other one is like a consumer coffee marketplace. What is that exactly?
Okay.
It's called Kawa.
It's Kawa shop. Kawa or Gahwa is the Arabic word for coffee. So it's basically like coffee shop if you translate it into English, but it's Kawa shop, and that's how we call it. It's again a coffee marketplace for home consumers, people who are really enthusiastic about coffee.
Those B2C consumers.
B2C consumers only. So people who really love coffee and they like to have a nice setup at home, this is the place that they come to. So
what is a typical coffee connoisseur spending on Kawa shop when he's buying the machine and all the equipment needed for producing high quality coffee?
So the equipment, it really depends as to how much the customer wants to invest and how much of a connoisseur they are. But it can start all the way from 1,000 reals, both equipment, the espresso machine and the grinder, which is like 250 USD.
Yeah.
And it can go all the way up to 40,000 reals, which is like 10 to 15,000 USD. And this is just the equipment and the grinder itself. Then there are accessories related to this. It can get really interesting.
And this is also a trend here in the region. So because I thought this is kind of a Western kind of thing where people are buying ridiculously expensive coffee machines and doing this barista workshops to create their nice cafe lattes. But this is a big thing here in the region.
It is a very big thing here in the region.
And are we talking region with including GCC, or it's Saudi only?
I'm speaking mainly about Saudi. I believe there's a similar trend at the other places as well, but we're focused in Saudi. We started in Saudi, and Saudi is our main market. And it is a very big trend here, coffee, definitely. And eventually it's going to be one of the biggest coffee houses, or the coffee culture in this place is developing so rapidly that I think in a couple of years it's going to be among the top ones in the world in terms of coffee culture, in terms of how people appreciate coffee, and their level of taste, and preferences.
Got it. So it's 2 business models we have to look in the next 30 minutes. Let's see if we can hit it. Let's go back to ekuep.com. If you like targeting restaurant owners, coffee shop owners, like all the people that need this kind of kitchen equipment. So what is this online share? Because obviously you're reaching the online. What is the online share of this market? Because my suspicion would have been that those owners, because it's usually a huge investment for them, they will go into some B2B store trying to getting the equipment on site. Because in many cases, they don't exactly know what to shop. They need kind of some guidance that tells them, okay, you need a refrigerator, this size, this specs, this whatever. Can you do this with ekuep.com?
Actually, yes. So you're absolutely right. That was generally the trend of the market when we started. But we knew e-commerce is the future. It's definitely more convenient for people to buy. And if you move away from the main cities, so Saudi Arabia is really large. It has 3 main, I would say the eastern, the western, and the central regions that are really heavily populated. But then there are other towns which are far away from these places, and they have requirements as well with cafes and restaurants. So definitely e-commerce is a much better way for those consumers to shop, or those business owners to shop. So with ekuep, what we have is our set of brands are some of the most popular in the world. So we have, for example, Noah Simonelli when it comes to coffee, and they're one of the best when it comes to coffee. There's a coffee championship, and they use Victoria Arduino machines, which is a sister company of Noah Simonelli. So we carry both those brands. In refrigeration, we carry True Refrigeration, which is from the USA. And similarly, we have brands from Europe and from the US in the cooking equipment line. So when it comes to reliability, when it comes to the quality of the machines, we have some of the best ones. And when it comes to understanding the equipment itself, we've invested a lot of time and resources and making sure that the content on our website is top-notch. So you could go into a category or a subcategory, and you would find detailed filters to get to certain choices that you want. So if you want, for example, in a coffee machine, 2 group heads, right? You could put that as a filter. You could put your price point. You could put certain special features that you want as filters, and you'd get to a selection of equipment that we carry that suits those needs.
So coffee machines is also a big part of ekuep.com?
Coffee machine commercial is a very big part of ekuep, yes.
Oh, okay.
We're specialized in that, I would say.
But you have some customers on Guava Shop that are almost in the price range of commercial machines.
Yes, it does.
Okay, got it. And
so there's just one more thing before we move on. So that's on the merchandising side on our website. Then we have in-house consultants. So we have a team that helps customers select products. So they come with basic requirements like, okay, I want to open a coffee shop, or I want to open a burger shop, and this is my budget. And we sort of recommend everything to them. We take their drawings of what's the location size, and we build a solution for them. And then they place the order and it gets delivered. Then we have project management team who goes to the site, who does the engineering work, and who makes sure that the site is delivered to the client as per their expectations.
Okay, got it. From let's say you're finding a new restaurant owner or somebody who wants to open a restaurant. What kind of coverage would he find on ekuep.com in order to equip actually the restaurant?
Okay.
Also like tables, chairs, I don't know, napkins.
So we're mainly focused on the kitchen of the restaurant. So anything that goes inside the kitchen, you could find it there. I'm speaking mainly about the non-consumables. I'm speaking about all the stainless steel, the hoods, the cooking equipment like fryers, griddles, ovens, like the big ones, the bakery ovens and stuff. You'd find all of that on ekuep. And you would find multiple brands, multiple price points for all these equipment.
And how do you help guide the customer here? Because I would assume like there's like many still single owners of restaurant, because like Western world you see like this franchising trend. There's like lesser and lesser single owned restaurants. There's like getting into franchise business. Here I would expect still like a lot of like restaurants and coffee bars where which are owned by standalone entrepreneurs. Do we have kind of a filter where you say, okay, I want to open a burger restaurant and this is kind of the burger output I would expect, and this is kind of the square meters I have for the kitchen. Please recommend me what I should buy?
Yes, that's exactly what the consultants help with. They help.
That's humans doing this.
It is humans doing this. Some of it is, so some of the requirements that we receive are quite repetitive in nature. So in terms of the output that the restaurant has to produce, the concept or the location, it's quite common that we receive similar sort of requirements. So we're able to sort of help them in a much faster fashion.
And when there's like a restaurant owner being consulted by one of your team members, and then he's obviously getting kind of a recommended list of things and a personal discount, I guess. What is the conversion rate of such an offer?
When it's personalized, when it goes through what we call the growth team, we call it the growth team within our organization. These are the people that help customers understand their products, select what's needed, and of course understand their needs and give them a certain set of recommendations. I can say the conversion rate is at least 6 or 7x more than the traditional conversion rate that is on a website. But here's the thing. We also have the solution on the website where they can go technologically, select what sort of concept they're looking for, select the budget that they have, and then it gives them a ready-made list of equipment. It's sort of like a quotation that they can print. And with that quotation, they could be speaking to somebody from our consulting team or the growth team and refining it to get to the final point.
And what is the status of development of your product providers? Because obviously you went into the marketplace game because you cannot like own all the inventory, because you don't know if this stainless hood made for a huge burger restaurant would ever be shipped through your platform. So you don't want to have like on your balance sheet. On the other side, you have to rely now on vendors that are very inexperienced when it comes to the e-commerce game. So in many cases, they don't even have a picture of the stainless steel hood. In even fewer cases, they have like a system that is connected to their inventory system where you can get like the status, because maybe it's sold like to another customer, and then there's no inventory anymore. Then you would need to have like the make to order information. How long would it take to make it? And I guess, I don't know how many vendors, maybe you can share the numbers, how many vendors are selling through your platform. That seems to me like a big transformational game you're playing, because you need to educate not only the customers, but also like your sellers.
So I think that's an amazing question that you've asked. And I think it's going to go into a detail. So First, I'll start with our vision. Our vision is to be the go-to store for food and beverage F&B owners. And we want to be their success partners when it comes to them setting up their first restaurant cafe and also the subsequent ones that they actually do. And over the past few years of we being doing this, we have actually had customers who started as single entrepreneurs and then they scaled up to multiple locations, franchising and stuff. To answer your question more directly, this was a big challenge. Not only was it a challenge to solve all of this, but also convincing these marketplace vendors to join the marketplace because this was a fairly new concept, a very offline industry. So we had to spend some good amount of time, resources, and making sure that we explain the benefits of this and offering lower commission percentages so that they get onto our marketplace and solving every bottleneck that came their way. And this required us to invest heavily in technology, in systems that would enable these marketplace vendors to be successful. For example, one of the biggest problems with an offline industry is the content, right? The images, the descriptions, the product names, and whatnot, right? The feature set and stuff. So we built an in-house product information management system. We call it the BIM, where marketplace suppliers can easily upload products through the system. And if they're facing difficulties, we have an in-house content team that finds the products online, that fills out the content, and they do the complete legwork for the marketplace vendors. So we make it really easy for marketplace vendors to join us. We show them the benefits of joining, and they actually get those benefits of joining. So it was a difficult challenge, but we continue to solve every bottleneck that arises with the marketplace.
But do you see, like, from time to time still like this problem that the product that you've sold or that you've offered to customer is not available anymore because one of your merchants wasn't in full control of their inventory system?
There's definitely is something that arises time to time, especially when it comes to like smaller orders. They're selling through multiple sources sometimes, through their own offline store, and sometimes it could be through Amazon, like the smaller stuff. And the way we have tackled this for now is we have given them our technology expertise to provide exports on a daily basis or on a regular basis to update our stock count in our system. So this has to a large extent stopped the problem, but it does arise time to time. It's more of a quick and agile way to deal with a problem, but it requires something more.
And what I've also heard about, like, this industry, especially like the electronic parts for the kitchen, like the huge frying machines, whatever, that there was supply chain issues because of COVID, because there was lots of parts produced in China. So, have you experienced that?
Yes, definitely. That's very true. We have experienced that, and this was affecting not only our NPS scores, but the customer satisfaction related to after sales and stuff. So again, we had to react to this. We set up a structure where we would solve the problem immediately. So at least from our end, we try to order those parts as soon as possible. We started partnering with some of the big spare parts companies that are a marketplace of these spare parts, and we started making partnerships with them. So whenever we have some orders where we don't have the spare part, we order through the manufacturer or through these marketplaces. So I would say that has solved 80% of the problem, but there is still a 20% problem, which I think should go away when we have faster logistics.
Okay, so not so easy to solve. And like from a growth perspective, you initially said there's like it's a booming market of like restaurants here, and I've heard it like time and time again. There's like a lot of like moving income class, sozusagen upcoming income classes here that can afford like restaurant visits. More and more people are moving into the big cities here, Jeddah and Riyadh, expecting more international flair whenever lots of hotels are opening. What kind of organic growth would you expect for the ekuep market within next years?
Next year, you said?
No, next years. Like, let's say until everybody's here throwing numbers in the room, like until 2030. The guest here from the travel agency business said they want to have like 100 million tourists, for example.
Right.
It's out. Now it's 60, just in case you want to know.
60 million?
60 million a year.
A year.
Yeah, including the domestic tourism and religious tourism.
Okay, that makes sense. So, especially after COVID, I think we were very well equipped. Again, it's a nameplate to help. We saw massive growth during COVID, and after COVID, it slowed down. That allowed us to actually have a retrospective view of what customers actually want. Are we providing what customers need? And are we delivering to what the customers' needs are, right? So that has really helped us improve our processes, our systems, our product offering, prices, you name it. So everything that is related to actually growing a business. I think in the next few years, the market is definitely geared for growth. I think there are more and more e-commerce players coming into the market. There's more than ever number of manufacturers coming into the market. So I think it's definitely going to grow from here on.
Okay, but you haven't shared like your revenue numbers on ekuep. If it's like 100 FTEs, if I would have to guess, it's somewhere in the $20 to $50 million region on a yearly basis. Can that be?
I need to convert that, but yes.
Yeah, but is it fair to say that you can expect an organic growth because there's so many new restaurants and kitchen are open, like from at least 20% a year?
So in terms of growth, I definitely think there will be more and more cafes and restaurants coming into the region. We know this through our clients. We know this through people that have come from the UAE, the restaurants, the food consultants, everybody related to this industry that have come into the region. They tell us about their expansion plans. So there's definitely going to be growth. From our end, what we try to make sure is we provide a great customer experience. We are their success partners. We give them the product selection that they need. And we make sure that at the end of it, we delight customers when we deliver the project. So in this way, and also we have very nice online visibility and exposure. So if you search for equipment, if you search for content, you'll find ekuep there. So we do these things from our end, and I'm definitely confident that the growth will come. And I think now is the time than ever that Saudi Arabia is geared for that growth.
And do you have like external funding for the business, or is it like self-funded?
It is. So the business is self-funded. It is. We're connected to Raktan Group. Raktan has been in this business for a long time, although it has been offline. So online we started about 8 years back, and it is completely self-funded from day one.
Okay, and let's spend a couple of minutes on the Quava shop. So this seems to be kind of a high-end niche. So if you were asking me like from an external investor's perspective, I would say, okay, this can never like grow bigger than, I don't know, 20 million. But the way you are describing it, there must be even more market potential for it here in the region, right?
I think the market potential continues to grow for coffee from what we have seen. So we launched Quava Shop about, I believe it has been like 5 years now.
Yeah.
And every year it continues to grow, and people's awareness of coffee and their taste in coffee continues to increase.
Are they replacing tea, or because like I think coffee was always like a very popular drink here in the region?
So I think there are more and more coffee shops opening, right? And more so people want this in their houses. So we give them that solution. We allow them to have like high-end coffee machines at their homes. Not necessarily high-end. We also have like a starting point of, I believe, like 300-400 from the Nespressos. We go all the way up to like, they call it like, it's like jewelry at your house. It's like a car at your house.
Do you own such a machine?
Some, not the high-end, but somewhere in the middle I do, yeah.
Okay. And how often do you create your own or produce your own coffee with that machine?
I think once a day, and if I'm not at the office, it's like 3 times a day. So,
and you invite friends for enjoying your coffee making skills?
Definitely, yes.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, because I know a lot of people that are not like $10,000, but their machines are like 2,000, 3,000 plus, like the barista.
That's generally the ones that are the best sellers. Like that is a sweet spot of people wanting to spend enough money to get the best out of their hobby.
Yeah. But they because if you like create coffee with this machine, you have like 15 minutes that needs to heat up, and so it's like compared to like the Nespresso experience, it's quite some effort you have to put in to create a good product.
A little bit more, I would say. It takes some time to heat up to the right temperatures. And then you would spend like 3 or 4 extra minutes to prepare it properly. But the final product that you receive,
I see. You're full into this coffee, and you're full into this coffee thing. And this is also like working as a marketplace. So you're not owning the inventory on the coffee machine. It's like third-party people providing machines.
Again, it is a similar story to ekuep. We started as retail, and we have certain brands that we carry, and those
own coffee machine.
Yes.
Coffee brands.
Coffee machine. We have we are partners with manufacturers in Europe and the US for coffee machines. We sell their brands, retail basically. But then again, there was this huge part of the market which was more of accessories and coffee beans itself. That is on Kava Shop as marketplace. And that is by far the biggest number of orders that we have on Kava Shop.
Nice. How do you see like development in the next couple of years for both businesses? Will you start more businesses, more marketplaces like this, or do you have enough to do with just running those two?
I guess that's I'll really need to spend some good amount of time even trying to answer that. But what I see is the region is definitely geared for growth. And there are more niche marketplaces coming in that are trying to cater to one or a couple set of customers and doing it really well, rather than trying to do everything and not catering to them that well. So I think niche marketplaces are definitely on the rise. But in terms of being able to answer what you just asked, I don't have a specific answer.
But you say both online businesses are part like of a bigger group that owns it, right?
Yes.
And I think and this group is also specialized in kitchen equipment and all the stuff, right?
Yes.
And that's their online arm.
We are the online arm of the Raktan group.
But how much of like the revenue from this kind of group is already like done via the online versus the brick and mortar retail?
I don't have specific percentages for this, but I believe offline is still it's still a big portion.
That I guess I just want to understand. Are we moving like in a 5%? Just for me, because it's especially ekuep, it's a very interesting B2B proposition. I try to understand how far the market develops in B2B. If you would talk to me like you more or less like developed European market, I would have guessed like 10%. But it sounds so big already. It feels more than 10% for the whole group.
It's definitely more than 10% for the group.
Yeah.
As the years go on, it has been increasing. The online share has been increasing as it
COVID obviously was a big driver.
and COVID was a big driver. And after COVID, of course, offline regained some of that share because people started shopping offline again. But yeah, until COVID, it was definitely online.
Okay, then I have a last question about like, especially in this business, like about circular economy. Does it make sense? Because some, the single restaurant owners are very often not the most skilled business people. So sometimes they make wrong assumptions about the popularity, about their food skills, whatever. And after a year or so, they say, okay, I'm not earning money, I'm just losing money. Because you have all the information on the inventory, does it make sense for you to take it back and to put it like in a circular economy approach on your marketplace?
So that's actually something we acknowledge. And first, we try as much as we can to help them succeed.
Of course, but to sell more initially.
Yes. But then there are, of course, instances where people want to sell their machine back so that they regain as much as possible of the investment that they've made. And that's where we have two solutions that come into play that we currently offer to the customers. One, we have used equipment. So when they purchase first time, it could be a used equipment. So they reduce the amount of money that they spend. But then if they want to sell it back, then we have a used marketplace as well. They can sell on our marketplace and we sell it for them. We put the content up and we basically put their machine back in shape and we sell it for that.
You're not taking the risk back initially. So you take the machine and say, okay, we sell it for you, but until it's sold, it's still in the ownership of the customer.
It is a marketplace model. Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
But then there's another solution which is very interesting that we offer to lower the barrier of entry for these business owners to start with. We offer a rental solution as well. So instead of buying equipment, they could be renting equipment for short term or long term. Again, this is fully digital, and we have done something which I would say even the car industry has struggled to do in the region. That is offer rental solution fully online, digitally without meeting the customer. Again, it's delivered, installed for the customer. So what this allows them to do is test a concept or test what they want to do with, I would say, less than 10% of the investment that they would make if they were going with new equipment purchases. And anytime that they feel like they want to return the equipment, we take it back. Or if they want to buy that same equipment, we offer them a purchase price for that equipment.
But the overall purchase price will be a bit higher, including like this kind of rental, because you took some of the risk.
Definitely. That's, that has to be there for sure. But what came out of this was something amazing. In the past 3-4 years, in Riyadh season, at Jeddah season, at the Dakar rallies that happened in Saudi, we happened to be one of the, I would say, the biggest supplier of kitchen equipment for these events and for the Dakar rally.
Because they only need it for a couple of weeks or months.
Exactly. So we were able to set up full restaurants for a couple of days through our rental solution. And we were able to offer it in record time for our customers.
But it's still a profitable business for you. So, because when somebody's doing just like an 8 weeks ready Dakar or 5 days ready Dakar, he's not going to buy.
Yes.
So you must deploy a solution that still earns money for you. It's not like you cannot give away like a new machine like for only 5% or 5% of the retail price as a rental price. It must be higher, right?
Yes, that's true. And the profitability is it's really good in the rental business because there are different factors that go into rental pricing, such as how often are you renting this out? What is the price? And how many days does it sit on the shelf versus how many days is it with the customer? And maintenance and stuff. So, but in general, it's a good profitability, the rental business. But yeah, it comes at a little higher bit price for the customers as opposed to buying it if they would see on a 3-4 year purchase cycle. But again, a lot less risk and a lot less to do with we set up the complete solution for them.
Does it make sense for you to extend this service into other regions? So mainly like GCC, obviously, the Blue Wire already available.
So ekuep and Kawashal both are startups from, they started in Saudi. They're big companies now. But we also ship to UAE, Qatar, and the other regions, Kuwait. So we have our operations here, but we ship to other places as well. In UAE, we have more operations there. So we have a warehouse there. And we also have an e-commerce team there as well.
Very nice. Very cool business model, online pure business model. Like from a company, it's kind of a transformational business model because the company obviously came from a retail space and is a bit older, already very successful. Definitely created some appetite for me to look into this coffee machine thing.
Sure.
Again, if I want to have someone, I definitely call you back for some advice. Shafi,
I would love that.
Thank you for being on the Commerce Talk Show.